All right, with the High Priestess being the overall here, clearly with the Ace of Swords on their side, this may be about some things that you were not aware of that may be coming up, right? But there, with the High Priestess, is always a part of you that kind of knew this. Now, this could be about you sharing some things that you've been keeping to yourself, though, too. But I don't see the High Priestess as a bad thing, like we have, some horrible secrets that may be coming out. But this is information that I don't think that either one of you were aware of at some point in the past. So I do think that there is at least some history between you and this person. Now, you coming in with the Three of Swords, if there was difficulty with the relationship or a separation, clearly it wasn't an easy thing for you to go through because you're showing the heartbreak here with the Three of Swords. And I don't believe that you are responsible for creating any kind of heartbreak, nor do I think that that was the intention from the other person, though, either. With them showing strength, I mean, clearly they're focused on you, obviously. But I think that they may not have been keeping themselves like under control, right? That, or they have been holding themselves back, especially with the High Priestess being there. But this could also be them, finding the courage and the strength here to speak up about some things, especially with the Ace of Swords. Now, if they were holding back from you, that may have caused a situation where there was some heartbreak here, or the both of you have experienced this, but, they're kind of like, I don't want to say like trying to pick themselves back up, but it kind of feels that way. But I still think that there are some things that they're wanting to kind of clear up or communicate with you. Okay. So now you're showing the Page of Wands. I think that any kind of communication with this person is, a good thing here, but it may also make you think about possibly taking a new road or a new path with them, because it's going to bring up feelings of excitement. Now, with the Ace of Swords, like I said, it's almost like they want to have the truth out there. They may want to clear up some things that maybe you weren't aware of, or they may be even communicating some emotions that they've had. So, especially with the Six of Cups, because it's like, okay, I want to be clear and honest. Let's go back to the past. Well, this is what the past is showing, so it's going to have to do directly with any kind of heartbreak that was felt. But I don't think that they're like purposely dredging up the past, because you're looking at it as this is really good communication. But looking at the King of Swords, again, whether you're dealing with a male or female, possibly air sign, right? That none of that matters to me. What I see here is for you, if what you are expressing is the King of Swords, it's almost like you're looking at whatever it is that they're trying to clear up, or they're trying to, tell you the truth about, as, okay, there is some emotional detachment from this person and the conversation with the King of Swords. And, again, like I always say, it doesn't mean that air signs don't have emotions. That's just the way that the King of Swords is described, right? Logical, reasonable, right? Diplomatic. But any kind of emotions that are involved with any decision making doesn't play into the process with him. He looks at it as that's unnecessary, and it clouds judgment. So you may be looking at whatever, they're communicating to you in terms of the past as, well, I understand that you feel that way, but let's look at this realistically or logically, right? Especially with the Seven of Pentacles going on here. But like I said, I don't think that it's about, them purposely trying to bring things up. It almost feels like there are emotions that they feel like they need to express to you that they didn't get a chance to before. I think that's the best way to put it. Now, if you are looking at this person as the King of Swords, it could be that the way that they're communicating is not from a place of emotional investment, but, being very clear about how, the past was for them involving you. But then my immediate question is, well, why do you feel like you need to talk about this, especially if the situation ended in a bad way? But the thing is that I think that the reason why this continues is because it's exciting to you at some point with that Page of Wands. And there's also very much a look at how things can move forward, because you are looking at a new beginning here. It is more realistic with the Ace of Pentacles, and this person may be bringing this to you. And this is something that maybe looks really exciting. But, you know, there could be, you know, things going on from the past here that may be a block for you. You know, you don't want to take the same road twice with this relationship, especially if you know it's just going to end up the same way. But I think that those are the things that you may be considering, but very clearly here you're telling this person that you can't move forward, that you just don't see it right now. But we may be reevaluating some things that may have been, you know, kept secret here, especially in terms of emotions, more so on their side, because I believe that I believe that this person here is going to be initiating the communication. My God, if I could talk right. I swear to God, it's like seeing it and saying it are two very different things for me. But the Ace of Pentacles would suggest here that they want to have some kind of a beginning with you that is a little bit more realistic and practical. But the goal is to have continued growth. But you very clearly are showing that, you know, there are some thoughts already in place that tell you that this may not be possible or realistic or even practical for that matter. There is something about this person that I think is just a little bit too much for you almost. So now the communication that's kind of happening to kick this off looks like there's going to be some fighting over, you know, what's not being made clear, especially if there was any kind of deceit in the past with the Seven of Swords here. Now, I think though what you're trying to do is see it a little bit differently, but with the Five of Swords, you know, this is clearly going to be about, you know, fighting. Not only that, but we could be talking about somebody who is using words in a really harsh way, you know, saying things that are meant to hurt. But it's going to have to do with, and you know, again, right, secrets. But this could be about you getting upset over the fact that they're not being very clear with what their intentions are. You know, it's one thing to say, well, look, I just want to communicate some things to you so we can clear up the past. But then to go, okay, you know, let's try this again. This may be one of those things where you're like, oh no, wait a minute. You know, I didn't know that that's what your intentions were. You know, I don't necessarily feel like you're dealing with somebody who's looking to try to get away with anything, but they have not been very clear with you in terms of what they are trying to do moving forward, besides wanting to communicate with you. But whatever it is, I don't think that you care for it too much. And then after that here, they are showing the moon. Clearly, they're not looking at things very realistically. And I think that, you know, especially with the Six of Cups preceding this, that they're looking at the past in a very distorted way. So there are clearly some, you know, situations and emotions that are not being looked at that are very much a part of the total of the relationship. So like, for example, right, this may be somebody who's caught up in how they felt, but they're not really looking at where things did not go right between the two of you. But with the Hermit, you know, this is you going, I'm kind of like on my own in this situation and needing to kind of like separate myself from this person for a minute to kind of think about things, especially if you're looking at the Seven of Pentacles and reevaluating it and whether or not it's worth investing into, despite the fact that there may be new information that you may have gained in terms of how this person felt in the past or how they saw things in the past, right? But clearly they're not, they're living in the land of illusion and they may be stuck with the past. They may be coming to you saying, I want to get rid of the past, but I don't think that that's the full truth. But what they try to clarify for you with the Ace of Swords directly has to do with, you know, the way that they felt. Now, coming out of that though, with you showing the Ten of Wands and then them looking at the Seven of Wands, if you start to say that you are stuck because you need to kind of like give yourself a minute here to work on, whatever burdens you may be carrying. They're not going to be happy with this, but I think that this is more so you saying that this can't move forward because there's just too much shit that's been piled on top of this. And with the Seven of Wands, they kind of see that as opposition. They may be communicating that to you like, no, that's not what I want, or that's not what I meant. But the thing is that they're coming from a place of not being realistic about how things are going to move forward here, especially in terms of this Ace of Pentacles. It's there. It is there. The problem is the person that you're dealing with. And I really do think that the Ten of Wands is showing that, there's just too much that goes along with this person. That, or you're looking at them as they have too much baggage. But what they're trying to communicate to you is something different. But I think that you know better, though, too. Clearly, you're looking at a new beginning, and this could be somebody brand new that may be coming into your life here with the Ace of Wands. Now, on the other hand, because of this Ace of Wands talking about walking away from the past, it could be someone from the past, right? But with the World, we're talking about a relationship that makes you feel complete. So this could be a new start with somebody from the past or somebody new completely. Either way, you're going to feel like very complete in this relationship. Then you move into the Chariot with the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is going to show doubt and needing to overcome any kind of doubt. And with the Chariot, this is going to have to do with where the relationship is headed, right? This is the sneak attack, somebody coming out of nowhere and trying to give the relationship a sense of direction. But clearly somebody is doubting on whether or not the relationship is going to go anywhere. Now, with Strength, though, and looking at the Knight of Cups, we're talking about you finding the strength to continue this relationship. And a lot of that is going to have to do with the kind of encounters that you have with this person. So my first question is then, is it random? Do you have a random communication or, physical contact with this person? Is it only when they feel like it? Is that why there's doubts on whether or not this is going to go somewhere, right? But you're being asked to go ahead and express your love to this person. Will that make a difference, though? So with the King of Cups, first of all, we're talking about somebody who's very romantic, very loving, right? I always say when the King and the Queen of Cups shows up with this one, somebody loves you or you love them, right? And again, a relationship that makes you feel really complete. Could be male, female, water sign, doesn't matter. The problem, I think, is that the doubt is going to have to do with either you or the person that you're dealing with here being too focused on something from the past. Now, it could be that some of the romance is being lost with the way that you start things with this person. Again, whether it's somebody from your past coming back through here and you having a new beginning or a new person completely. But clearly, somebody is having problems with either walking away from a past partner or looking at how this relationship is progressing and going, they're not the same person that they used to be. And I think that may be the case for a lot of you moving forward with this situation. Now, you're being asked to go ahead and continue to express your love, right? And I think that may be important moving forward, especially if you start to fall into a routine with this person. That is where the Four of Cups is coming in. Things don't change. They kind of stay the same. The problem is that, somebody may be having problems with overcoming, doubts as far as whether or not this is the person that they want to be involved with. This could be you or the other person here. But clearly somebody is wanting to give this relationship a sense of direction. But I think that you are trying to have to find, your strength here being your card to continue this, because the routine is with the Knight of Cups that you just have these random encounters with this person when they feel like it. But if you were to, continue this, will the relationship go somewhere? So maybe we're looking at this a little bit too soon, right? Maybe we need to kind of just continue to see where this goes before, we give it any kind of definite, how do I put this? Oh my God. Again, seeing it and saying it are two different things. So it's almost like don't be in a rush to kind of say or define what this relationship is. There you go, right? Just kind of see where things go. Continue to, express those feelings to this person when you have these encounters. And even though it may seem like a routine right now, hang in there for a minute, They may surprise you and want to take this relationship further, and it kind of makes sense with starting it off with the Ace of Wands. But, I don't know. Maybe they change a little bit moving forward, but, man, this may be, and I'm looking at past life relationship. One of the things that I talk about with that is, when we talk about past lives, right? I think that the reason why this card shows up is not just because you've known each other before and could be in another lifetime. It's showing that this is an opportunity to heal the situation, whether that means moving forward with the relationship or clearing it up completely so that you don't have to continue doing this with this person. Now, I do think that there is going to be an outside influence. I mean, that's very clear with the first three cards being pulled here. The Five of Wands is going to be about somebody who is peeking in on your relationship. Now, this could be an outside person. It could be you. It could be your partner doing this. But somebody is watching somebody else's relationships. And with the Ten of Wands, the reason why it may be happening is because somebody is not okay with the fact that the relationship went nowhere. With the Ten of Wands, there is, the hookup to release the burden, but the relationship goes nowhere after that. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles, we're talking about somebody who is clearly here obsessed, right? Not wanting to let go. This may be somebody that there has been like contact with on and off. But I think that the biggest problem is that, either you or your partner has tried to walk away from this person. And let me just remind you guys, right? If you're happy in your relationship, you don't need a message. You don't need to be here. This is going to be very specifically for those who are dealing with some difficulties in the relationship. And again, it's not going to be for everyone. But I really do think that the Fool is showing that, you are wanting to move on from this. That are, like I said, it's your partner, but we'll clarify it. But the Nine of Pentacles a lot of times is going to show that, you may be entertaining a person that shouldn't be, but we're not seeing the Page of Swords, but I don't like the Five of Wands. And the reason why there may still be this issue going on is because, like I said, they can't let go of you. Now, unfortunately, with the Lovers, this is where, the question of temptation kind of comes into play here, right? If you knew that someone from your past is still looking in on you and your current relationship, does it cause problems where you start to think, well, I know that I should stay with this relationship, but here is this person again tempting you? Because the Lovers in this deck is going to show somebody who can't make a choice. Now, with the Four of Swords, though, we're talking about not being able to force a connection. You just can't do it. You can't force yourself to feel something. And you can't force yourself to do something that you're not, comfortable with, not feeling good about, right? It's trying to force some feelings that somebody doesn't have, but I don't like the way that this kind of like kicks off, right? Yeah, there is nothing left to talk about. There is nothing left to talk about here. There is no connection between the two of you. And I think that is kind of like what needs to be spoken here so that the situation is over with. I think that because when I look at the Seven of Swords, first of all, we're not physically connecting. We're not mentally or emotionally connecting. It's been completely severed and cut off. But with the Ace of Swords, something needs to be spoken. And I really think that somebody else needs to understand that you just can't force yourself to do this because there is no connection left there for you. Or again, this is going to be about your partner doing this. Now, with the Six of Swords, this is about trying to bridge the gap between, two people, right? Somebody is really trying to put in the effort here to do this. But again, it's because somebody is peeking in on what's going on, like almost waiting for an opportunity. But I think that they believe that there's unfinished business between the two of you. Or like I said, again, this could be about what's going on with your partner. Now, again, with the Magician, right, somebody thinks that they have the ability to make something happen here with the Nine of Pentacles because they're clearly not wanting to let go. But, you know, again, with the Fool, you have taken a completely different path in your relationship. And again, right, it's like they need to know in order for this to kind of like be done. I think that, you know, and again, it's either you or your partner. Somebody considers it. Now, on the other hand, though, we could be looking at a situation here where, you know, somebody, like I said, is going to feel like they have the ability to make something happen. But is that because there's a disconnect between you and your partner, but you don't want to do anything anywhere else yet? You know, because you're not feeling it with the Four of Swords. You know, but wherever there is a disconnect, either between you and your partner or somebody else that's like, you know, interjecting themselves here, a truth needs to be spoken about this. It needs to be cleared up, right? Oh, Leo. But I think for a lot of you, again, whether or not it has to do with you or your partner, this is clearly going to be about somebody from the past, whether it's a past life or whether it's just a past relationship here. But I look at this as it's time to heal that and fix it and be done with it, right? So that you're not doing this over and over and over again.